I know I said I was going to do more videos this year, but my garden is smaller. These are some of my banana peppers that have been crossed. These are cayenne. They should be pure. I'm not going to hold my breath. Now these are the ones that were the Anaheim that I crossed with some other peppers over the past few years. They grow perfectly like a long green or a hedge chili, as some of you know it. You can roast them, stuff them, do anything you would with them. These are shishito, but they're a small shishito, and they look like they definitely have crossed with something else. They're really good, but not my style. These, look at all these little peppers, okay? They're supposed to be like a jalapeno shape. They're not, they're smaller. These have got to be the sweetest, tastiest peppers I've ever grown. I'm gonna have to save a lot of seeds because it wasn't labeled. Elderberries. These are my only jalapeno plants this year, unfortunately. I had a lot, but we had a problem. This is one of my cucumber towers. I put some of my sunflowers on the fence. These are Armenian and Japanese long cucumbers growing on the chain link. Here's a baby cucumber coming along. That looks like Japanese, but I could be wrong. It should be an Armenian here, but it's not the right color. Hello, Miss Kitty, my garden assistant. This is a very tiny miniature tomato, but it's a sauce tomato. These are 3 more cucumber towers. These are younger. Some babies. The fair's coming up and I have to get ready for it. Now, over on the west side is more tomatoes and cucumbers, but I don't have my big trellises this year for my dramatic tomatoes. I was so stressed out where I was working that I didn't get my garden started. I was just mentally exhausted by the time I got home every day. This was last year's massive squash bed. I had a problem this year, but I have fall squash now coming up, doing really well. There's Miss Kitty. Now this was the jalapeno bed last year. I had to move them. I amended this soil and I think something's wrong with it. Anyway, I put carrots in it to try to help clean it up. I just planted these 2 beds with carrots and wasabi. Now the carrots over here are coming up very nicely. These are wasabi on this side. These don't look like they're up yet. Oh, yes they are. I lied. Let me put some shade on it and get the kitty paws off of it. There we go. They are coming up. The beans in this tub are done. So I planted black radishes and they are coming up. I had a few more. I'm not sure where they went. Oh, there's one. They're hard to see. They're darker. I had onions in this bed. I've pulled them all up now. These are squash. There's a few onion seeds. Now all these are different kinds of beets that are coming up. On this side, we have eggplant. I have 4 eggplant bushes and 2 unknown squash. And I think I might have onions coming back up in this bed also. These are my red onions, and I planted beets around them. except for a very few turnip seeds I had. I had no idea I was almost out of turnip seeds. So I have just a few little turnips over here. But the beets are coming up very nicely. Last year, these 2 rows were squash. The only thing I put in there was sunflowers. But I have volunteer okra coming up all over the place, so I've been eating okra. As usual, the compost bed is doing outstanding. I have watermelons, some kind of squash or melon, lots of okra. I'm going to have all kinds of interesting things. This is a new compost bed, started last year. But anyway, I'm not going over to the west side, but I did want to talk to everybody and say hi. Hope you have a great Labor Day weekend.